another militant group uncovered in Southeast, according to security agents. Fresh revelations have emerged about the operations of a suspected militant group whose modus operandi in the southeast, particularly in Imo and the Enugu state, is the coordinated attacks on policemen, military police personnel, especially soldiers and civilians perceived to be supportive of government measures at ensuring peaceful coexistence. The suspected militant group referred to as the Unknown Gunmen group said to be headed by Tochukwu Okeke, aka Owo, is said to be responsible for the attacks leading to the killing of over 20 soldiers and policemen apart from the destruction of their facilities. A security source disclosed that the leader of the Unknown Gunmen is known to have received huge payments to kill civilians while also carrying out the kidnapping of prominent citizens for the purpose of raising money. Investigations revealed that some prominent victims of the group's criminal activities include late Justice Stanley Nnaji, late Ifeanyi Okeke, Paul, the manager of Sunny Bright Motors, and Professor Samuel Ndubisi of SEDI, and many others. Throwing more light on the activities of the group, the source said they wasted no time before attacking soldiers and policemen in Enugu State. Before the arrest of their leader, Tochukwu, and destruction of some of their camps, they have carried out attacks on Adani Police Division, a military checkpoint along Adani Omo Road, Ezeagu Police Division, a military checkpoint along Oji River Udi Road, military checkpoints at Nnewi, and a military checkpoint along Enugu Abakaliki Road. The group also attacked a police checkpoint at Obiago along Enugu Agbani Road. Continuing, the source said Tochukwu Okeke, aka Owo, has a well-structured band of gunmen who are armed to the teeth and heavily sponsored by some politicians who hope to find greater relevance in the crisis in the southeast. Adding, the group reasons that with the heightened political tension occasioned by the polarization of polity along ethnic and religious lines, they can profit financially and politically by pretending to be advancing and protecting their regional or ethnic interests, while in the real sense of it, they are only pursuing their personal goal of engineering and benefiting from the crisis. The source said security agencies recently raided one of their camps at Akwafu Amanguze in Nkanu West local government area, and several arms, ammunitions, and cars charms were recovered. Tochukwu personal house in New Haven, Enugu, was equally raided and military-grade weapons were received. With the arrest of Tochukwu and destruction of their camps in Oji Rivers, Agu, and Nkano, peace has gradually returned to Enugu. Enugu people can now sleep with their two eyes closed, and in the case of Enugu State, the unknown gunmen are now known, and Tochukwu is the face behind the mask. Asked to state the connection between the unknown gunmen group and IPOB ESN, the source said the Tochukwu criminal group has no sympathy to the cause of IPOB, and when they kill policemen and soldiers, they do so for reasons which include to capture their weapons, terrorize the public, subdue the government into doing their bidding, and settling them with a huge amount of money. The source expressed the hope that the family of those soldiers, policemen, and civilians killed by the group find solace in God and are comforted by the fact that the mastermind of the untimely death of their loved ones has been apprehended by the long arms of the law. We heard this whole thing before now, but it was not as detailed as what we are hearing again. Based on this fact, the security agencies should tender unreserved apology to IPOB, ESN for accusing them wrongfully. Yes, and see how they have wasted lives of innocent men and women. Righteous judgments of God is coming against Fulani Buhari's military, IGP, DG, DSS, and so on and so forth. Wickedness and executions of innocent peaceful Igbo youths in their shops and restaurants in Imo State. Uzodinjo hopeless, hellbound. IPOP terrorists all died in vain and they are going straight to hellfire. like your father going to hellfire too. Agents of Satan. So Igbos are your problems. What are we? Why? That's why we cannot live together. So IPOB and ESN is now vindicated. They are not behind the mask. Government should compensate and make clearance of IPOB ESN. Thanks to God for these northern trained arrested criminals copying the Islamic style of receiving ransom from governments like their northern brothers who trains them. Remember that Uzodinma, the Imo state government, also said that 70% of that people of the people are not IPOB or ESN, but I wonder why he didn't became bold enough to defend his own. Of course, he said it that IPOB, because after the former IGP just said, "Oh, it is ESN, IPOB that they were the one behind it." Just some hours after this whole thing, no investigation being carried out. Uzodima said the same thing too. But after 2 days, he came back and said, "No, IPOB and ESN are not the ones. That this is just a political um crime being committed here and there. That is political. So it is no more ESN or IPOB." But why is it that this whole thing is not going viral? I'm not in support of assassination of people who, but why not military men go to places like Zamfara State, Niger State, than send to Southeast? Man, please be reasonable for once. You are just saying anything that comes out for your mouth, because this one saying because IPOB is a terrorist, that is why they are not going to Zamfara and not as only bandits. So you see the reason why IPOB. Can you imagine? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Leave the South alone. Nigeria leaders don't want them, allow them to go their own. What about the Fulani terrorists terrorizing our societies? How many of them have they arrested? Our problem is the S-men terrorists and the so-called to Oski. What of innocent people the police and army have killed, terming them unknown gunmen, IPOB and ESN? Now they have discovered the militant that is doing that. What are they going to do with the life they have wasted? I can assure you that this report that somehow exonerates IPOB and ESN will never be accepted by this government, because it will defeat their very reason why they are against ESN, which is the fact that ESN was confronting and dealing seriously with armed killer Fulani Esme in Southeast. The government had to give ESN a bad name to justify hunting them and paint them bad before people. Of course, we know that. What about the IPOB and ESN that you have killed? You have been killing since, accusing of every crime. That would not have happened if we have security agencies working with intelligence and not with senseless brute force. So IPOB ESN were wrongly accused, arrested, and a lot of their members killed. Now that the world has known that neither IPOB or ESN are killers of security personnel in the Southeast, the truth is clear. Federal government should release all the innocent youth and be ready to account for those killed as EFCC. Please fish out their sponsor. We need to know them, why they decided to make Southeast ungovernable. Please stop telling the lies news to the public and stop killing innocent indigenous people of Biafra, for Christ's sake.